So we are looking at the version of BERDO that only requires reporting for residential, and it requires reporting and then modifications for large commercial buildings. This was chartered last time by Councilor Gentile. I understand that he has an amendment to review with us that has been reviewed prior to today with both the legal department as well as Mr. Ferguson. I understand there's another amendment coming from Councilor Albright, both of which will address portions of the creation or the process by which we create, or I should say the city creates the regulations. And I believe with that, I think I've kind of in the past mentioned anything else or covered all the other topics. And hopefully tonight we'll have a clean conversation and be able to vote this out. Fingers crossed.
Terrific. Thank you, Councilor Oliver. I'm going to recognize you, Councilor Gentile. You have the first proposed amendment.
I do plan on voting for this tonight. The amendment that I believe you have all received, it's pretty straightforward. I knew that what we're being asked to vote on tonight, as Mr. Ferguson calls it, is a framework, and that a lot of the particulars will be decided by the BERDO administrator along with the committee that has been set up in the ordinance. And there's a lot of work to be done. So the ordinance, the amendment that I have proposed, simply says that when the advisory committee working with the administrator, when they have completed their work and they have the proposed regulations, I am just asking that there'll be a meeting with the city council so that the city councilors can be brought up to speed as to how this is going to work. It'll give us a chance to ask some questions in a committee of the whole format. And if we wanted to maybe make a suggestion as to how the regulations could be improved, it certainly would be okay to do so. But as the last sentence states, I want to acknowledge, and I'm not trying to change the fact that the regulations are to be established by the administrator and the advisory group, and that we are only getting, this meeting is only for the purpose of further educating us, because there's a lot of decisions and of items that are yet to be established. So, as you can see, the ordinance says, do you want me to read it?
I think we can all look on the screen. Right. The language is in front of us. I think that will be helpful. Councilor Gentile, for anything further, or would
no? I would just like to move the amendment. Okay. I understand that Councilor Albright also has an amendment, and if I were to be asked, I would consider it a friendly amendment if you want to take them up at the same time, if that's what Councilor Albright
wants. Why don't we do this? Let's get a second for your motion. Councilor Albright seconded the motion. Councilor Albright, do you want to offer a friendly amendment? Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. So reading Councilor Gentile's amendment made me think about the fact that regulations on the state and federal level usually have a 30-day comment period where anybody with expertise or with a stake in the issue has a chance to comment to the BERDO, in this case, the BERDO administrator, and tell their feelings in support of the whole thing or in pieces of it or against whatever it is they might want to say. And I asked Mr. Lee, Attorney Lee, to write me up a sentence about adding a 30-day comment period, which would happen simultaneously with the 90-day period of just when the meeting happens. And he did that I hope you had a chance to see it, and Councilor Gentile is willing to accept it, I believe, as a friendly amendment.
So that's a friendly amendment to Councilor Gentile's motion. Do I have a second for that? Second. Councilor Oliver, second. I caught that one first. All right. So we have, let's vote on the motion to amend as amended. Can we do this in a voice vote, Madam Clerk? All right. Why don't we do it on a voice vote? All in favor of adopting the amendment, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay. Any further discussion then on the main item? All right. Seeing none, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll on the main item, please, as amended. Madam Clerk, go ahead, please.
Motion carries 23 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent.